Work stories. It was the year after my high school graduation. I turned 18 and was ready to attack the job market. The pressure was real. I thought I had to get a job as soon as possible to gain my first experience so I can get a better career later on in this oversaturated job market that we got today. It's kind of sad actually. The first profession I took was at a Chinese fashion boutique. My mom actually was part-time there too, but she held the job in the other shop of their 2 branches. Imagine working with your mom as a colleague. That would be very weird. The place I worked at was a tiny boutique full of women's clothes, bags, and shoes. I got the occupation by chance. The worker before me had frequently stolen money from the cash register and got fired on the spot. The shopkeeper had to find a new slave as soon as possible, so I stepped in thinking, hell yeah, easy first job experience. The job wasn't too hard in itself. I was supposed to help customers find the clothes they are looking for, handle the cash register, and hang the clothes back when they fell. I was yet to realize that this would turn into my worst struggle yet. Let's start at the first thing that could have gone wrong. My job training on the first day. You know how something like this goes wrong? The answer is by not receiving any training beforehand. It wouldn't have been so bad if I wasn't the only employee in this entire boutique. Yeah, you heard that right. There was no other employee but me in this shop. I was an 18-year-old who was never employed in her life, and there I am on the first day being in charge of the whole outlet. Thankfully, my mom voluntarily helped me on the first day and taught me everything without even getting paid to do so. But she ended up coming to see me at work every day for that month and hung around until my shifts ended. Earning a wage was about being independent, which didn't work since my mom was always there. I talked to her about it and she changed her being around me all the time to hanging out near me and made sure to call every now and then, while passing the chain coincidentally a few times. I mean, it was a really caring gesture of her, and I think back then it was more of an issue for her to realize her daughter isn't a kid anymore. But I'm not gonna lie, this was really exhausting for me. There was also another worker who made my life a lot harder. She was a Chinese lady in her early 50s who was a friend of my mom. We were the only cashier there and I never met her to this day because we had varying shifts. The reason why she made my chores harder wasn't because she was lazy or pushed her responsibility on me or anything. It was because the lady would sell items on a much lower price than they should be and promising customers a lot of percentages off, even though we already had sales up to minus 70%. There was this lady who walked in one day, took a €150 jacket and said that my coworker promised her to sell it to her for €20. My freaking jaw dropped to the ground. Dear customer, that wasn't even a third of the original price. Are you kidding me? As this happened, I was going to call and ask the owner if I was allowed to do that, as my mom came into the shop after coincidentally passing the shop. My mom managed to calm the customer down and sold that item for €35, which was still way too little. But there was much that could have been done. I hated my coworker at first, but it turned out that hate was unjustified, because it wasn't her fault. She did as she was told, just like me. The problem was that the shop owner told us both different things. She told her to make things cheaper since they are selling the shop anyways, but she told me to not go down on the prices further because they are already on sale. Still, most of my fights with customers happened because I wouldn't give them stuff for free or give big discounts to already discounted items. Often, there weren't even price tags on the items and most of the stuff only had one piece in one size. But as a good employee, I didn't want to screw everything over, so I just did what I was told and I had to deal with constant stress of being yelled at customers for doing my job. My boss could never keep track of all the inventories and money as a single person, and she was also the messiest person to ever own a business. She opened up 2 boutiques all by herself, with no supervisor or manager to help, and only 3 part-time cashiers. This lady strained herself 40 hours a week in her establishment, while also handling delivery and managing her worker by the side. She was a mess, the boutique was a mess, and I was a mess too. What I noticed working at my first job was that my voice would get really high when I talked to customers. You know, with my friends I speak like Tupac, like hey yo dog, what's good? But put me in my workplace and I transform into Smurfette. I was being nervous, which was kind of justified when you look at the crazy customers I had to deal with. Through handling these situations all by myself was, in my opinion, an important part of growing up, and that is realizing that most adults are idiots. As a kid and young teen, I always looked up to older people, thinking they know everything and have their life together, but the truth is they mostly don't. At our big sale month, after the branch successfully sold the boutique, I have been 3 weeks into this livelihood, and big sales attract lots of weird and/or annoying people. There were 2 tiny Asian women coming into our stores during the sales, always close to our closing hour. They were the kind of people who would rather buy something that's on sale than something that they would actually want. The Oompa Loompas would take so long each time. Every time I had to do overtime when they arrived. I accidentally got a revenge on them one day. They put their jacket on our clothing racks. I mistook it for one of our product and hung it back into the mess. One of the weirder customer was an old lady coming into the store on a more quiet morning. She was looking for a black top to wear, so I did my best to assist her. As she was trying on different blouses, she casually started talking. "Oh yeah, my husband died last week, so I'm looking for a good outfit to wear to his funeral. What do you think about this?" I was dumbfounded. I have no idea how to respond to death-related topics, and she being all casual about it confused me so much. And another customer I will never forget was an older and really obese woman. She came and bought herself plus-sized lingerie, and she was in one of the 2 changing rooms next to the cashier register where I was sitting. The memory that has been burned into my mind was her opening the curtains and showing me her wearing the white underwear and bra in all its glory. She asked me to cut the price tag for her while she was still wearing them. I didn't want to be rude and say no, so I took the pair of scissors and went to cut her tags while I felt her warm breath on my neck. But I didn't cut the tag well enough and accidentally snipped off the tiny bow attached to it. I think she didn't notice or cared, and I was too afraid to say something. If I ever see that female again, I would want to buy her a new one, but I don't remember her face as much as her body. Ugh. More than plenty of times there were confusing grandpas walking in asking if I have seen his wife, or people walking in and asking if we sold suitcases. We are a clothing store now, we don't have suitcases, what the hell even. And lastly, the absolutely worst customer I had. An old, presumably Austrian grandma. I remember greeting her with a smile and helped her pick out the clothes. Everything went well until I told her the final price at checkout. "That will be 10 euros, please." No, it's not. You're wrong." "Oh, I already halved the price from the 20 euros. "No, here it says it's 14 euros and it's minus 50%. "Miss, the 20 euros is the main price, which I'm supposed to subtract the sale person from. The 14 euros was a former sale." You guys see, this is one of the wonderful management the store owner did. My boss always had multiple price tags on one item. This confused a lot of people, including myself too. But she told me to just calculate the percentage of the highest price, as that was the original price and the cheaper price was a former sale. I know this was really stupid, but I just did as she told me to, and I tried my best to explain it to the customer. But she started freaking out before I could even reason with her and find a solution that could have profited the both of us, but instead, "You have no idea how to do your job, I don't want to buy this anymore!" She screamed that at me and just threw the clothes on the table between us and walked out. Pretty funny how those customers always think that we care about them buying our product. I get paid by the hour, it doesn't even matter how much I sell. But that was the first time I got yelled at by a stranger in my life. My first reaction to this was to cry. For probably an hour. I hid in the storage room and cried, but I'm the only worker there, so I had to go back to the cash point and cry there, silently. After this incident, I took a pen and scratched all of the expired prices off the tags. I should have done that at the beginning. Well, I think this turned out as more of a rant than a work story video. First job experiences can be really nerve-wracking, eh? But since I started working 2 years ago, it also shaped my character. I don't cry as easily as I used to, and it showed me a big glimpse of the real world out there. So I advise everybody to get a part-time job when you're able to, even if you don't need to. I know slaving in customer service will make me appreciate all the labor there a lot more, even the shitty ones, cause I know how much crap they've been through. Thank you for watching the whole video. If you have any wishes or suggestions, you can write them in the comments. I will try uploading every other weekend, so subscribe and click on the bell next to it so you won't miss my next upload. I can't wait to tell you about my other job experiences, cause it all went into crazy town from here on. Give this video a thumbs up to let me know if you liked my content. Have a good day, people. Bye bye.